Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Devil May Cry 5, Dante Must Die difficulty, S-rank walkthrough. This is mission 13, it's called 3 Warriors, and this is one of my favourite missions in the game because it's brutal and to a point. So this is the debut of the Lusatia, which is the enemy that I'm fighting right now. Apparently, this thing's in Devil May Cry 2, but I couldn't have told you that because I don't remember Devil May Cry 2, because Devil May Cry 2 was poo. And I don't remember this, but it makes sense, doesn't it, that this big blob of heads would be in that game. So yeah, that's what this dude's from. And we've already seen these before because they were in earlier in the game, but this is where they turn up on Devil Hunter. And it's one of those fights that's a very difficult fight to do because it's hard to do much with him. But did you notice? I beat that one guy up and I got 5,000 stylish points. Remember at the beginning of the previous video? Well, I say the previous video with Nero, where I beat that dude up for ages, and I got no points, and then Mission 8 became incredibly difficult for no good reason other than just because fuck you. That's why it doesn't make sense. Because there are times when you do shit and do really well, and you play amazingly and you do shit, and it doesn't make sense. But this fight has a behemoth, and it has some of these Scuda Angelos, I think they're called. So I'm going to try to stay in the air. There's an Antonora knocking about. You can skip these fights if you're not interested in them, but I don't know how that would affect your ability to get the S rank. I suppose you could do the first fight, get over 5,000 points, and then just destroy all of the red cores to go past all the other fights. And as long as it doesn't grade the other fights as you're destroying the cores, you'll get 5,300 multiplied, and hopefully that'll lead to an S rank, right? Which I don't know if it will, actually. But you know the idea. I didn't do that because I like this mission. This mission's just, here's a bunch of dudes in a good room with a high ceiling, fight. And it's kind of the purest essence of what this is. It's also an opportunity for Nero to fight this creature, which I just don't know what to do against this monster. Like, every single movement animation looks like an attack, and every single attack looks like movement, and it's just really confusing. With Dante, you can just stay on its back and just attack it with tons of fantastic jump cancels, but with Nero, jump cancelling is nowhere near as effective for me, and it's nowhere near as fun either. So it's the reason why I don't do it that much. But I'm focusing on the Scuda guys. I get a sloppy hit just then. I should have been hit by that. There's no reason. I suppose I should mention that this was a first attempt, because usually when I play a level a couple of times, I get quite sharp and play a little better, but I didn't need to for this one because I managed to get it, which was nice. But here we go. Got the Gerberer on after the break. I'm going to hit this monster with it, start attacking his body. And look at the flails. Just going nuts, isn't he? Every time I jump and try and swing, I'm jumping too high too, which is unfortunate. Like, you want to be lower, but you don't want to be too low, and it's just this weird balancing act of an awful enemy. An enemy that I'm hopefully going to like more once I understand what it does. Like, what's it doing? Is it going under the ground? No, it's going nuts. And it's devil triggered. You can parry this, by the way. If I had Gerberer then, I would have probably been able to dash into it and stun it, but I didn't want to take the risk with just the Buster Arm. You can probably Buster it too, but if you miss, it's going to kill me. And I've had a lot of experience. Look at that! Wow, I didn't realise, but oh yes, some kind of devilish puckered anus. Always good in your level design. If you're not depicting Satan's colon when you're developing hell, you've not made a video game. But this room is Riot Central, and there's a nobody too. So my strategy for these rooms is to get rid of the spawners and then fight what's left. And it works pretty well. You could just man it up and fight absolutely everything, but I don't know, it all depends on how long you want it to go, right? If you could have a bunch of different arms and switch between them on the D-pad, I just feel like Nero would have so much more versatility, and he'd be so much more complicated and interesting. Because some of these Buster Arms, and some of these Breakers, I should say, sorry, like, they're so situational. You almost never want to use them outside of very specific moments, and then when those moments occur, you don't have them. And the shops are quite common on certain levels, but on other levels, they're just not. There's the Devil Trigger. There's another nobody. There's another Riot up my ass. Always good. And then we be careful of the roll. The roll is very active. If this room was a little bit closer together, the Gerberer would be really, really devastating. But as it stands, you have to kind of get them up against a wall and hope it bounces off the wall a ton. But when the nobody's like that, when he's got his nice buffed arm, when he's been on the vitamin H, or whatever you want to call it, anabolic chicken, he becomes quite interesting because he has the similar moves, but he can also do... He seems to have a bit more range with his grab because he's all roided. He's doing the Chris Benoit. There's his normal punch. It can be quite hard to see because his animations are so creative. They did a really good job with the nobodies. There it was. That's why you don't want to be on the ground with riots. That was my mistake, and I own it. You never ever want to give them the light of day. I shouldn't have been getting lazy, but I was. I was getting lazy, I was getting complacent, and they fucked me up. It's going to happen as well, guys. They do that all the time. I'm not playing very hot at the moment. Not hitting my exceeds, not really doing what needs to be done. But it happens, guys. You go through those phases of playing like trash. Which is really funny because I feel like I play really good with Dante almost all the time now, and I still fail. Because if you think my Nero is bad, wait till you see my Dante, dog. Top tier Dante. So now the nobody has put on his projectile mask, which enables him to throw eyes. And the eyes will not only steal your lock on, but if you attack them, they explode, and they do a lot of damage too. However, if you can attack him during this phase, you can usually knock his mask off, and if you knock his mask off, he gets very, very sad. And then you can just wail on him a bunch, which is one of the better ways to deal with him. But my style was 6,300 and I was playing like shit, which if that doesn't prove that the ranking system on Mission 8 is just broken, I don't know what does. Like, there's something there, there's some kind of negative modifier that makes it harder to do well on that level. And I don't particularly understand it, but I feel it. I feel it in my bones. But there's me activating the shop to refill my arms. I'm going to do a nice mixture of Gerbera, Helter Skelter, and Overture, and this room gets real crazy. This is full of Chaos, which is the creature that's next to me right now. So the Chaos guys are like the Riots, but instead of doing what the Riots do, they spin. They love to do this Sonic move, where they charge at you, and they do all kinds of shenanigans with it, and conventionally, if you're playing with Dante, you have to use your guns quite a lot on this enemy and break their spikes to stop them from rolling around a lot. But when you're playing as Nero, Nero doesn't give a fuck. You can just grab them. Just grab them, pull them into the air, start whooping their ass, and there's nothing much they can do. But I'm using my arms to take on some of these nests, get rid of some of these wonderful spawners, and drop a Gerbera into it, and hopefully it bounces around a ton. Get a couple of exceeds off it. I think that one was still alive. That right there was the lock-on fucking me. Of course I wanted the Chaos game, why would I not? There we go. That move is one of the most annoying new moves they've added to Nero. Why does that move have such weird tracking? I'd love to know. Like, he has a forward dive kick, but the dive kick misses more than it hits. Like, do you ever do that move and land it the way you want to? Because the only times I ever land that move successfully are when I jump away in the air and come back with it. And even then, like, I could have just done a caliber or done a combo. Like look at that! Why didn't it take the enemy with me? So weird. Oh, another thing that you need to be careful of in this room too. You can attack the objective, which is going to steal your lock on even more than everything else, which you really don't want to do for obvious reasons. But now they've all devil-triggered, a bunch of devil-triggered Chaoses. This is actually not as dangerous as the Riots, because this creature does not have the capacity to jump the same way that the Riots do. They probably still have an anti-air, but it's nowhere near as fierce as what those other guys were capable of. Ooh, can we blow it up? Oh, I missed! Yeah, I missed! Damn! And I got hit, that sucked. If I'd have shot that explosive then on the dude I just stuck, that would have hit every single one of them and probably stunned them, but it didn't work. And, unfortunately, I'm in the Devil's Nest. There it was, too! Just there. In the lair of the beasts, getting mauled by these guys. I like fighting this enemy, especially now that I've fought it with Dante. Dante is a little bit more effort needed to take these guys down, but you don't fight them in this kind of number unless you pick him on this mission. This is probably the most you're ever going to see these guys. And this level is co-op for the people wondering, but I never get people in my game on this level. I don't even have it set that I can get them on, but usually you get like the computer ones, don't you? And for the most times, I didn't notice if they were in this particular session, but I don't see them that frequently on this one. Can you imagine 2 players in this room? God, it would get ridiculous. I'm going to turn that feature back on. I feel like it's quite interesting. But I suppose all you'll see in this room is people spamming Faust, won't you? So they can orb whore. Interesting. Did you see that? That's why you have to guarantee that your depth perception is on point. Because I went to interrupt him then with the grab and I whiffed. I whiffed by about the hairs on my ball sack. Terrifying, right? Can you imagine if you were going for no damage and that was the hit? God, you'd have been pissed off, wouldn't you? And now I can't exceed to save my life. Always good when this happens. But we're keeping the S up at least. It'd be nicer if it was triple S. But triple S with Nero can sometimes be quite... Oh, there we go. That's exactly what I want, Gabe. Thanks for that. Boom. Now, I wonder how you would make Nero more interesting other than being able to swap the breakers. I would like more air moves. Because there's the normal combo, there's the roulette, and then there's Caliber, right? It'd be nice if there were more combos in the air. Maybe there is and I forgot and I just don't use them. Like, it'd be nice if you could press attack, wait, and then press attack after that and do something different. Because as it stands, you do attack, wait, and then attack for 1, and then you just attack 4 times, don't you? But look, 6,500 style. I don't feel like I deserve that amount of style. I think I was playing pretty badly, and even then, because this level is so much more generous than Mission 8, I effortlessly beat it. Whenever you beat a level that effortlessly, it makes you wonder what went wrong on the ones that weren't. And when you get to Mission 10 with Dante, you're going to feel like you performed like I did just then, and you was tearing up a feast, and then you're going to get the worst ranks at the end. And I have no idea why. But thank you for watching, guys. Good luck with your runs, good luck with your S ranks, and as always, you take care now.